Mr. Ritter, when Three's Company ended, or was getting to the end, were you ever worried that maybe you might sink into like sitcom obscurity? That one of the people you'd be a trivia answer one day, or did you ever think about that?
When I got Three's Company, I knew when I did the pilot that if it sold and was successful, I would have to run like hell away from that stereotype of the four-camera, sex-com, farce, mindless drivel, joke, 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 screaming, adolescent. Like a video Archie, Betty, and Veronica. I would have to, so what I did a movie of the week where I played a paraplegic, then one where I played a drunk, out-of-work minor league baseball player, and then a minister. So I could collect a body of work that I could, maybe if not the public would be that familiar with, at least the people who hire and fire would know that I was more serious than just, oh, Chrissy K. Lastaba, where's the rent money,
Well, for the longest time, Three's Company seemed to get a lot of flack from people, and a lot of it very vicious.
Who? Help me.
And in fact, I think you were saying earlier there was a book that was particularly vicious.
There was a coffee table book that either Richard Klein from Three's Company or Carol Summers gave to me, who was our script girl. They gave it to me like this, like Children of the Dam. And I opened it up and said, a big chapter of Three's Company, page after page after page of us and dialogue from the show and pictures I'd never seen. It said there are 3 schools of thought on Three's Company. Number 1, that it is absolutely the worst TV sitcom in America today. 2, that it is absolutely the worst TV show in the history of American television. Or 3, that it is absolutely the worst thing in America today. And I'm going, what an opener. I mean, whoa, not even Morton Downey Jr. gets that kind of flack. Well, no. But anyway, I'm going, but seems to me, except for some cases, the critics were okay, if not nice to me, and to some of the actors, but they were really down on where the show was going. But the show was a kind of formula show. It wasn't like really anything that new.
Well, didn't Lucille Ball intercede on the show's behalf?
And then after the 6th year, Lucille Ball, right, she sort of endorsed the show and she hosted a retrospective and gave the show its first little air of respectability.
Well, working with Blake Edwards must have been a real thrill. I understand you almost worked on another project with him earlier.
I was asked, I met with Blake and Tony Adams about 10 years ago to do a movie that would have been a sort of a spy comedy called The Ferret that I'd still love to do with him. It's such a great idea. But he and I really liked each other way back then, and we always wanted to, we could never get the schedules right though, but now was the right time, it seemed.
Well, how was the first day of shooting, your first scene, and you probably went home and told your wife about it. How do you describe that first day of shooting?
Came home, I came home from my first day of shooting, and Nancy says, how was it with Blake? And I said, it's fascinating, I was totally nude. She goes, right, yeah. No, seriously. I said, I was naked. She goes, as the character, right? I said, no. Well, who saw you? I said, Allison, Heidi, Denise, Danny, the girl, the hair, makeup, the Wranglers, and a few people who we don't know. Yeah. And I went. But it was integral to the plot.
Well, I hate to bring up the beard, but when the promo was running for the movie, and all the girls were commenting on the beard, whether they liked it or didn't like it, was that a conscious decision on your part to kind of change your image for this movie?
It's interesting. I got the People's Choice Award for Hooperman, and Tony Adams saw that and called up Blake and said, Blake, I just saw John on TV. He has a beard now. Because they had considered me but discarded my name from the list because I looked too young. They said he looks old enough to play the character of Zach now with the beard. So Blake said, I'd like to see you. And he said, what do you have the beard for? I said, that's just my natural state when I don't have to pretend to be Hooperman. So he said, keep the beard and do the movie.
Well, someone was comparing you a lot to Chevy Chase and Steve Martin doing the physical type of comedy. Now, the Zach character, there's a lot more dimension to him than just, falling around praning. But in the ads for the movie, basically they focus on that, the physical comedy coming down the steps. Does that bother you at all?
I'll tell you, I'm always fascinated to see what they promote in a film. I never know. And I think they said if you get them into the however you get them in is fine.
Okay. Oh, one movie I wanted to ask you about, 'cause I remember a few years ago a movie called Real Men with Jim
Brilliant
Belushi.
film.
Yeah.
Brilliant film. Won awards. I think I was nominated for the Oscar. No, the Emmy. It was the grant. I was no, I'm mistaking me with somebody else.
Well, what was the story with that movie? Because we got a lot of advanced publicity, saying this movie's coming.
The publicity lasted longer than the movie. The movie, it's a real nice video cassette box at a store. You can get it and take it home with you.
Okay, great.